Good morning. Honorable members of the judiciary, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that I welcome you to the inaugural LexisNexis Rule of Law Conference. I'm honored to be your host here today in Hong Kong, and during these 2 days, we will be working together with you and my colleagues to advance the rule of law and the dialogue that we will have here. A special thanks to those who have traveled from far to join us, whether they be from the Netherlands, Cambodia, Malaysia, Japan, the UK, and India. I really appreciate that you've come here to share your expertise and your passion on the topics that we'll be covering here in the next 2 days. Advancing the rule of law is a concept and a passion for LexisNexis, and it underpins everything we do. It is something that we share across all of us. This is because we believe that the rule of law is essential to political stability, economic opportunity, and progress for society. And to do this, we do 4 key things. We provide products and services that enable our customers to excel at the practice of law and help justice systems, governments, and businesses function more effectively, efficiently, and transparently. We continuously engage with you, our customers, friends, and partners to find ways in which we can do this better. And I encourage you to give your feedback all throughout the process and dialogues in areas that we can make a better impact in this particular part. We also document local, national, and international laws, making them accessible in multiple formats to individuals and professionals in public and private sectors. We operate in more than 100 countries around the world. And there are thousands of my colleagues right now working to make this information more transparent and accessible. And we do this together across borders and bring groups of lawyers and professionals together to have these kinds of dialogues, because it is important for us to share the learning from different markets, different jurisdictions on best practices. We also partner with governments and nonprofit organizations to help make justice systems more efficient and transparent. Where our expertise is needed, we gladly provide it. In many countries across Africa, we work directly with the governments to document and make the laws accessible to their citizens. This is very important, this transparency in law. Most recently in Myanmar, we are embarking on a major rule of law initiative to support the creation of a transparent legal system. We also partner with organizations such as the UN and the Atlantic Council, amongst others, in many initiatives, all with the goal of supporting efficient and transparent justice systems. Fourth, we support corporate citizenship, and this is something that Edwin mentioned in his introduction. The goal of this is to strengthen civil society and the rule of law across the globe. For example, in the importance of the rule of law, for over a decade, the Wall Street Journal and the Heritage Foundation have tracked economic freedom around the world. And they've developed benchmarks that help show the impact of various programs and initiatives within markets and their impact on society. And they call this the Index of Economic Freedom. Countries with higher levels of economic freedom substantially outperform others in terms of economic growth, per capita incomes, healthcare, education, protection of the environment, and reduction in poverty. So essentially, this index shows the overall impact on society from a number of drivers. And one of the 4 key pillars of this is the rule of law. You know, a nation's economic success depends on the ability of our citizens to own property, live in a society that's free from corruption, it's transparent, one in which the man on the street knows his rights and is empowered by them, and is able to prosper because of this transparency. Simply put, the economy is dependent upon the rule of law, and we at LexisNexis recognize this. We support charitable organizations and civil society to raise awareness and bring the message and raise funds for many worthy causes. One example of this is the Somali Mom Foundation in Cambodia. We work passionately to help them combat human trafficking, and we share our platform and lend our voice to aid worthy causes and encourage all of our employees to do the same. You can meet many of them here today You will hear it in your conversations with them. They are passionate about this, and it's something at LexisNexis that we firmly support. For me, as an individual and as a parent, advancing the rule of law takes on a very personal sense. I want to build a better world for my children and their children so that we have a better society that all of our children can grow up in. And that brings me to this conference. Why are we here? As we constantly speak with you and people like you all around the world, we see a common theme and hear a common message. The world is growing closer and our worlds are coming together. And this brings a need for some uniformity where law is not clear. The law develops at a rapid pace. Sometimes the world moves faster. And in different parts of the world, it moves at different speeds. This is a natural result of the economy, society, and government. If we leverage on the developments of law across all these other jurisdictions, surface them, share them, we can critique them, and we all become more informed. And as a group, we are smarter, and thus become stronger. Today, we will focus on the practical aspects of law reform. We will begin with a keynote lecture on good governance, human rights, and the rule of law. And this demonstrates how critical the rule of law is to society and reminds us again why we're here and what we care about. Our panel sessions address reform in financial crimes and criminal justice systems. We also feature a case study on Myanmar. You will be part of an intense and stimulating discussion on the rule of law, and we invite your participation. We want to make this real and practical and bring it to bear. It is our hope that these sessions will not only demonstrate the critical need for law reform, but how law reform affects justice systems in practice. We hope to discover ways in which we can undertake law reform better. Tomorrow, you'll hear from members of the judiciary about modern-day judicial challenges. The world is changing and evolving, and we will learn from the judiciary in their role to adapt to this new and fast-changing world. Our case study features the Dutch Knowledge Center for Cybercrime, and we'll discuss cases where technology has outpaced the law and hear a comparative approach to how a comparative approach to judicial decision-making is one way in which we can move forward. The theme of our conference this year is a transnational dialogue. And as you will see, we have a number of people from all around the world, all with different perspectives, all with different points of view. These are valuable. We must take these in as individuals and as a group and learn from them and improve. We will all share and learn with these views together. So we at LexisNexis will continue on our purpose, that is to advance the rule of law around the globe. And we want to hear from you, share our platform and our voice with you. And I urge you to keep us in mind when you embark on these particular ventures. There might be areas in which we can help, whether it's with resources, know-how, or connections. There are many of my colleagues here today, and you know where to find us if you can't reach out to them today. It will be a privilege for us to be a part of your journey. I look forward to personally getting to know each of you as we work through these 2 days, and I look forward to the dialogue. And now I'm pleased to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Andrew Cayley. He was appointed in 2009 by Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations, and the King of Cambodia to serve as Chief International Co-Prosecutor of the Khmer Rouge Tribunal, part of the extraordinary chambers in the courts of Cambodia. He currently leads the prosecution of several persons responsible for genocide and crimes against humanity. Mr. Cayley is an expert in his work, having led prosecutions and given input on prosecutions against war crimes in the former Yugoslavia, Kosovo, and Darfur, amongst others. He is a highly sought-after speaker and has delivered lectures in prominent platforms around the world. We are privileged to have him here with us today and welcome him. Mr. Cayley.